The Avengers are back. Dr. Doom has arrived, Steve Rogers has returned, and the X-Men are finally stepping into the MCU. But wait, what if I tell you that the Avengers Doomsday trailer is hiding some massive secrets? Because behind these incredible action scenes, Marvel may have secretly revealed clues about the multiverse, Dr. Doom's real plan, and possibly the road to Secret Wars. So today, we're going through the trailer scene by scene and breaking down the biggest hidden details and theories you might have missed. And trust me, the last one could completely change how you see Dr. Doom. Let's begin. Detail number 1, Dr. Doom has arrived. The moment we've all been waiting for. Dr. Doom! Marvel's most dangerous villain is finally stepping into the spotlight. But here's what's interesting. Marvel isn't introducing Doom like a normal villain. His entire presence feels mysterious, powerful, and almost unstoppable. And that could be intentional. Because Dr. Doom isn't just another villain who wants to destroy the world. In Marvel Comics, Doom is one of the smartest and most powerful characters ever created. He's a genius scientist, a master of technology, and a powerful sorcerer. And that's what makes him so dangerous. But there's something even more interesting. Dr. Doom has a very complicated history with the Fantastic Four. And that brings us to our next detail. Detail number 2, Reed Richards versus Dr. Doom. If you're a hardcore Marvel fan, you already know this rivalry. Reed Richards, the smartest man in the room, and Dr. Doom, the man who believes he should be the smartest man in the universe. These two characters have one of the biggest rivalries in Marvel Comics. So, if Doomsday brings these two face to face, we could finally see this legendary rivalry happening on an MCU scale. And here's the theory. What if Reed Richards is one of the only people who truly understands what Doom is trying to do? Maybe Reed knows something about the multiverse that the Avengers don't, and that could make Reed one of the most important characters in the entire movie. Detail number 3, Doom versus Thor. Now, let's talk about one of the craziest moments, Dr. Doom facing Thor. And this isn't just a random fight, because Thor is one of the strongest heroes in the MCU. We've seen Thor fight gods, aliens, titans, and some of the most powerful beings in existence. So when Doom stands against Thor, Marvel could be sending us a very clear message. This is not a normal villain. Doom is operating on another level. But here's my question. Is Doom actually stronger than Thor? Or does Doom have another advantage? Because remember, Doom isn't just about physical strength. His greatest weapons are his intelligence, technology, and magic. And that combination could make him incredibly difficult to defeat. Detail number 4, Steve Rogers is back. Now this is where things get crazy. Steve Rogers, the original Captain America, is back. And honestly, this could be one of the biggest emotional moments in the entire movie. But here's the big question. Why is Steve back? Because the last time we saw Steve, his story appeared to have reached its emotional conclusion. So if Steve is returning, there must be a big reason. And here's where the multiverse theory comes in. Could this be the same Steve Rogers? Or could this be another version of Steve from a completely different universe? Marvel has already shown us that multiple versions of the same character can exist. So until the movie arrives, anything is possible. But one thing is certain. Steve Rogers returning means the stakes are about to get insane. Detail number 5, the MJOLNIR connection. Now, if you spotted Steve Rogers connected with MJOLNIR, you already know why fans are going crazy, because we've already seen Steve prove himself worthy. But seeing that iconic image again could have a much deeper meaning. Think about it. Steve Rogers represents the past of the Avengers, MJOLNIR represents Thor, and Dr. Doom represents the future threat. So could this scene be showing us something symbolic? The old generation of heroes coming together for one final battle? Maybe. And if that's true, Doomsday could be much more than just another Avengers movie. It could be the beginning of the end of an entire MCU era. Detail number 6, MAGNETO. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest X-Men connections, Magneto! And this is absolutely huge, because Magneto isn't just another mutant. He is one of the most iconic characters in X-Men history, and his presence raises a massive question. Why is Magneto involved in this story? Is he fighting alongside the heroes? Is he fighting against them? Or does he have his own plan? Because remember, Magneto has never been a simple good guy or bad guy. His motivations are complicated, and in a movie involving Dr. Doom and the multiverse, that could make him extremely dangerous. Detail number 7, the X-Men have arrived! This might be one of the biggest signs that the MCU is changing forever. The X-Men are finally becoming part of the larger Marvel story. Think about what this means. For years, we've had Avengers stories, Fantastic Four stories, and X-Men stories. But now, Marvel is bringing these worlds together, and that means Doomsday could be setting up one of the biggest superhero crossovers we've ever seen. Avengers, X-Men, Fantastic Four, all in one story. But here's the big question. Are they all fighting the same enemy? Or could some of these heroes actually end up fighting each other? Because when different universes collide, you can't trust everyone.
Detail number 8, Professor X. And then we have Professor X, the leader of the X-Men, the world's most powerful telepath, and potentially one of the most important characters in the multiverse. Because imagine this, Dr. Doom is planning something that threatens reality itself. Who would be better equipped to understand what's happening? A genius like Reed Richards? A powerful sorcerer like Doctor Strange? Or a telepath like Professor X? Maybe all three will be needed. And if Professor X is involved, there's a possibility that the X-Men aren't just making a cameo. They could be critical to the entire story.
Detail number 9, 3 different Marvel worlds? Now, here's one of my biggest theories. Look at the groups coming together. The MCU heroes, the Fantastic Four, and the X-Men. These aren't just random characters. They represent 3 major corners of Marvel cinematic history. So what if Doomsday is essentially building a bridge between different Marvel realities? What if these universes are slowly colliding? And what happens when they collide? Chaos! Different heroes, different histories, different versions of the same characters, all fighting for survival. And that's where Dr. Doom could become the most dangerous person in existence.
Detail number 10. The multiverse may be the real enemy. Here's something I think many people are missing. Everyone is asking, how will the Avengers defeat Dr. Doom? But maybe we're asking the wrong question. Maybe the real enemy is the multiverse itself. Think about it. If different universes are collapsing, even the Avengers can't simply punch their way out of the problem. They need a solution, and maybe Dr. Doom has one. Which brings us to my biggest theory. Detail number 11. Is Dr. Doom actually trying to save everyone? Now listen carefully, because this theory could completely change the story. What if Dr. Doom isn't trying to destroy the multiverse? What if he's trying to save it? Imagine Doom discovers that multiple universes are about to collapse. He realizes that the Avengers, the X-Men, and the Fantastic Four aren't powerful enough to stop it. So Doom creates his own solution. But there's one problem. To save reality, he has to control it, and nobody is going to trust Dr. Doom with that kind of power. So suddenly, Doom becomes the villain, not because he wants to destroy everything, but because he believes he is the only person capable of saving it. And that would be classic Dr. Doom, because Doom doesn't think he's the villain. Doom thinks he's the hero of his own story.
Detail number 12, Franklin Richards theory. Now let's talk about a character who could become extremely important to the future of the multiverse, Franklin Richards. For casual fans, he might seem like just another character connected to the Fantastic Four, but comic book fans know Franklin is incredibly powerful. His comic book history includes some of the most insane reality-altering abilities in Marvel. So here's the theory. What if Franklin becomes important to the future of the multiverse? What if his powers are connected to the survival of reality itself? And what if Dr. Doom knows exactly how powerful Franklin could become? That could create a completely different kind of conflict. Because Doom might not want to destroy Franklin, he might actually want to control his power. And that could put the Fantastic Four directly against him.
Detail number 13. Why does Doom need the Avengers? Here's another question. If Dr. Doom is so powerful, why does he need anyone? Why would he care about the Avengers? Why would he care about the X-Men? Maybe because he can't do this alone. Maybe Doom needs something that only these heroes possess. Knowledge, technology, mutant powers, magic. Or perhaps he needs them to survive the destruction of their own universes. And if that's true, the biggest twist could be that the heroes in Doom have the same goal, but completely different methods. The heroes want to save everyone. Doom wants to control everything. And that's where the ultimate battle begins.
Detail number 14. Is Doomsday the road to Secret Wars? Now we have to talk about the biggest possibility.
Secret Wars. If Marvel is bringing together Avengers, X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Doctor Doom, then it's impossible not to think about Secret Wars. In Marvel Comics, Secret Wars is one of the biggest events ever, and Doctor Doom is deeply connected to that story. So could Doomsday be setting the stage? Could this movie be the bridge between the old MCU and an entirely new Marvel universe? Maybe after this, nothing will be the same. Characters could change, universes could merge, and entire realities could disappear. Which means Doomsday might not just be another Avengers movie, it could be the movie that completely resets the MCU.
Detail number 15, the biggest mystery. And finally, here's the question I want you to think about. What if Doctor Doom wins? Just imagine. The Avengers lose, the X-Men lose, the Fantastic Four lose, and Doom becomes the most powerful being in the multiverse. Would he destroy everything? Or would he create a new reality? A reality where he is the ruler? A reality where there is no chaos, no multiversal war, no destruction? Maybe Doom's ultimate goal isn't destruction. Maybe it's order. And if that's true, then the real question isn't, can the Avengers defeat Doctor Doom? The real question is, what happens if Doctor Doom is right?
And that, my friends, is why I think Avengers Doomsday could be one of the biggest movies in Marvel history. Because we're not just getting one superhero team, we're potentially getting Avengers, X-Men, Fantastic Four, and the most dangerous villain Marvel has ever created, Doctor Doom. But now I want to know what you think. Is Doctor Doom secretly trying to save the multiverse, or is he planning to become its ultimate ruler? And which character do you think will be the key to defeating him? Let me know your theory in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because when the next Marvel trailer drops, we're going to break down every single detail. Until then, stay awesome, and remember, Doom is coming.